Michaela, welcome back to another webinar. It's kind of sad what we have to discuss today, but it's okay. You know, things change. The world goes on. It is what it is. There's not really very much we can say about it, but it's okay. So, I mean, I guess I kind of wanted to start off by asking, like, I guess what happened? I don't know if you know, like, like general, just quick summary of, like, why they decided or, like, what happened with it all.
Yeah, so in late July, Google put out a statement saying that they are no longer going to be pursuing the third-party cookie deprecation that we'd had
our whole conversation about. Or eat cookies.
Right, I know. So they put out a statement saying they're not going to be focusing in on that anymore, and instead they'll be continuing with, they have this plan that they're calling Privacy Sandbox.
Yeah.
And that's kind of this research and development sector. They're going to continue pursuing that to like promote, consumers' privacy online, but it's not going to be by doing away with third-party cookies across the board onto Chrome. So that's the statement that they made. So it's there could be a lot of different things that come out of this, and we just don't exactly know what it'll look like.
Is there a reason why they decided after all of that? Because I feel like they were going on for so long and like going back and forth saying they were going to get rid of them, and there was all this like testing and whatever, and everyone was freaking out. Is there a reason they decided to do it? Have they said, like, is there any like...
It kind of depends on who you ask, right? So from what Google is saying, they're not giving the biggest reason. It's more just like, we see that this is not exactly the way to go about it, and we're going to move forward in this different direction. And so, but when you're, I've been doing a lot of digging and trying to see all these different perspectives. So some people are actually very disappointed. They're like, this is Google pulling back on something they said they were going to do for the consumer to protect privacy, and now they're actually trying to protect themselves by holding on to all this information that helps us to do advertising, helps Google make money, etc. They see it as like a negative. Other people are saying good, because we don't have a great replacement for this currently, so this is a good move. Google is helping to protect all of these different industries that would be potentially hurt by this, so they're more positive about it. And then other people are saying, this is not really a Google decision, because there have been kind of ongoing discussions that Google has been having with other like regulatory bodies, I guess I would say,
for the
lawmakers. Yes. So they've been doing digging into the plan, and there have been some concerns that actually deprecating third-party cookies would put Google into actually a much more powerful position, because they still own Chrome and they still handle a lot of these things, so they would be in a position to be able to benefit more, whereas other DSPs, other publishers would be like hurt by the loss of the third-party cookies, but Google could be like, oh well, we're fine, so I guess it's okay.
I guess they are being considered a monopoly, but like I don't like they're in like
they're
law
in an
court
antitrust lawsuit right now.
Yeah, which is crazy. So I mean, I guess I don't know if that would have anything to do with what happened, but I mean, like I don't.
They're currently, I think this is maybe week 4 of their antitrust lawsuit related to their ad tech. So it is, I mean, it is closely connected in with the third-party cookie piece, although that's not something that they're looking at, as far as I know, in the current lawsuit. But it's really just about, I mean, this is a whole different time, whole different webinar.
Know, sorry.
A whole different webinar. But yeah, there's a lot of concerns just about how many pieces of the pie that Google has control over.
Another question that I guess people have, and like that it is like, does that mean like that all the work that was done for like, trying to like
plan for this
and like everyone like working up towards it and like coming up with other ideas and like ways to work around it, like does that mean all of that was lost? I mean, I'm assuming no, like I would hope, but I guess I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think so. That's a piece. When they put that statement out in July, that was like the first thing on my mind to talk with my team about, was to be like, hey guys, like please do not be upset about this, because all of the work that we have been doing is not a waste. And the work that the industry has been doing over the past, years has not been a waste, because even with Google saying they're not doing away with third-party cookies as a big sweeping move, people can still reject those cookies. Like you and I can do that. And it sounds like they're thinking of in Chrome making it a bit easier to do that and more direct. So we may have people doing that. And then in Safari and Firefox, they already aren't being used.
Yeah.
So we're just moving. I mean, this privacy focus is going to continue to be a really big piece of the industry as we move forward. So any work that we do now to like prepare ourselves to find that, I guess, that sweet spot between protecting consumer privacy, but also providing personalization of ads, like all of this work is going to continue to be valuable. But yeah, that was one of my concerns, is I was like, guys, all the effort, I'm sorry, and this is wild, but of course, but all the efforts we've been doing are still relevant. They're still useful. And we're continuing to, we've changed a few of the things that we're prioritizing this quarter, next quarter, but we're continuing to do the work.
Would it be different than like when you like click on a website and then like, for example, it says, do you want to accept cookies or whatever? I always accept them, which I feel like I'm not supposed to do, but like I just click it. I like literally barely even look at it. I'm just like, whatever. Would it be different than that? Like, I mean, I'm assuming that's kind of like what is the privacy protection, but would it be something else a step further? I think no, this is me just conjecturing. I think it's going to be something a little step further. Yeah.
But Google has really not given too many hints about what that could really look like. If it's like a browser setting, if it's going to be made super visible when you use Chrome, or if it's going to be currently like you'd go into your settings and you click through a couple of different things
you just don't want
until
it.
You get down in there.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, now I can turn this off. I don't know if they're going to surface it more or if it's going to be just an entirely different option, or I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good to have this conversation because I know we had done that whole webinar and I guess we just wanted to get some clarification. I guess I did have like one final question, which I know now since it's been a few months since July, has the industry, I guess, like talked about it more, like bounced back from like this original discussion of people being like, oh, like, I can't believe that this is happening. And now people are like, okay, well, it is what it is. Like, I don't know if Google has said anything else. I'm not sure.
They put out not a huge statement, just more like, hey, we're continuing work and we've seen some of...
We're just working on it.
Yeah, we've seen some of these pieces here. I don't think it's been... I think it was like a big explosion of conversation when it happened, but there have been a lot of different people saying... some of them have been saying, well, this should have, like, doing away with third-party cookies should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
So they weren't really fazed by this because they're like, well, we're already, like, miles down the road.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to with cookies. We're not even using them anymore.
Yeah.
So there's that piece. And then there's some who have been more on the side of, oh, no, I figured that Google actually would never take the final step because it's been delayed.
Yeah, it's been going on for so long.
So a lack of surprise there. So those are, like, honestly, some of the two main responses that I see. There's not been that many people who are, like, totally thrown out of whack.
Yeah, they're, like, more, I guess, accepting or, like, less, like freaking out.
But also, like, this kind of stuff happens quite a bit in the like, digital advertising industry. You get, like, lots of changes. So I think a lot of people are just like, oh, par for the course.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
This is how everything goes.
Yeah. I feel like everything changes so fast, too. Yeah. Even though they were, like, pushing it back for so long and people were anticipating it, I feel like advertising and, like, tech and marketing stuff all changes constantly. So, I don't know. It's crazy to think about, but... Thank you so much for joining me here today so we could rehash this cookie discussion and figure out what's going on. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That was good.
Yeah. Bye.